hone in on that big story now. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa set to testify at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. As mentioned, he's expected to account for what happened under his watch as the leader of the governing party. So over the next 2 days, the president will face tough questions about the ANC's role in the looting of state resources, or at least we think and predict. Our reporter, Tumaole Mohlaoli, is in Parktown for us in the early hours of this morning and joins us now live. Tumaole, of course, the State Capture Commission of Inquiry will always draw attention for different reasons. Today, those reasons are pretty obvious. Let's begin with what you can see there as being relatively different for any other day at the State Capture Inquiry.
Well, a very good morning to you, Ayanda, and a very good morning to the viewers. A very different day, a very different scenery outside the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, which shows just what a big day it is. I'm going to step out of shot just for a few moments so I can show you. Right behind me there in the shot, you will see several police officers. In fact, a few moments ago, there were more officers there gathered, and a police vehicle called the Nyala, which is one of those very heavily armored vehicles. And right across the commission premises, this is the situation. There are police and other police officers which seem to be in paramilitary gear, seemingly showing that they are from the Presidential Guard or a special division of police. This is why they're here. They're here because the head of state and the president of the ruling ANC is going to be giving evidence and testimony here before the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. So certainly a high police visibility, high security presence in anticipation. This would be the situation here at the Zondo Commission of Inquiry's offices, premises here in Parktown in Johannesburg over the next few days, over which the head of state is expected to give testimony. Now, this is not the first time we've seen such a heavy police presence. Just a few months ago, when the former head of state, Jacob Zuma, was also giving testimony, or not giving testimony, as it turned out, before the Zondo Commission of Inquiry, there was also a heavy police presence. So this will be the situation here as it stands. Ayanda?
So the action, Tumaole, is going to take place arguably both inside and outside today. We'll be unpacking what takes place inside in just a moment. Our experts are also on standby. Take us through what we're expecting outside, though. Several political parties saying they'll also be showing up.
Yes, we are certainly expecting several supporters and both detractors of the president of the country, Cyril Ramaphosa, to come out in their numbers. But those numbers, as we know already, will be heavily curtailed by the restrictions that are in place due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But the protesters and the supporters are going to be out here to show their support and to make their voices heard. Now, Ayanda, what we are likely to hear in those voices will be those who are pro former head of state Jacob Zuma and critical of the current head of state, saying that he was also in cabinet during what is called the state capture years, or the wasted years, those 9 years whereby former President Jacob Zuma was at the helm, and those are the years that the State Capture Commission of Inquiry is really focusing on in terms of what happened, particularly in state-owned entities, including Transnet, including Eskom, including SAA, where there are allegations. And if you look at the basic, how those state-owned entities have lost billions of rand. SAA, unfortunately, is practically no more because of the mismanagement at the state-owned entity. When you look at the situation that Transnet finds itself in, Eskom finds itself in, those are the years that the State Capture Commission of Inquiry has been honing in on. And he will be expected to answer as to what his role was during those years, what he did in terms of trying to push back against the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. Other witnesses, Ayanda, who have testified before the Zondo Commission of Inquiry, including Brian Molefe and others, have pointed to these questions to say that when the state capture narrative is basically debated and communicated and talked about in the public domain, as well as investigated in the Zondo Commission, there seems to be a perception that it was the former head of state, Jacob Zuma, who was the mastermind. The question then, they say, is where were the other people? What did they do? So this is what the Commission of Inquiry will, of course, be investigating. And, of course, some of the big questions that the current head of state and the current ANC president will be asked will be what was his role, if any, in the Glencore Optimum coal mine saga, for instance, that has been also one of the evidence streams before the Zondo Commission of Inquiry. He will also be facing questions as to what he did or what he knew about illicit payments that were made to ANC officials, including ANC mayors, for favors for companies to get contracts. He will be asked what was happening at the SOEs and also municipalities. So there'll be a broad range of issues and a broad range of evidence streams which the current head of state will be asked to answer to. And this is why he is scheduled to give evidence over the next couple of days, right through this week, Ayanda.
Absolutely. Tumaole Mohlaoli, long day ahead for you. Let's leave it there for now. There'll be plenty other opportunities, trust me. Tumaole Mohlaoli live to us there from Parktown in Johannesburg.